Guys, I am so excited for this episode today because we're going to be talking about the ways to create a healthy relationship with your nervous system literally for $0 for free. Because yes, you can have the expensive memberships or all the gadgets and gizmos, but can you have these core things that actually create a healthy relationship with your nervous system? And also, what even is that? Like today we're going to be diving into the science because I feel like there's so many misconceptions about nervous system regulation. So I made sure to come with my research. I'm Kayla Rose, this is Skinny Dipping, and let's strip down and dive in. Nervous system regulation, we're going to talk about the science, and then we're going to get into the free ways that you can regulate your nervous system that actually work. And they're not things that a lot of people talk about, like, oh, like just do somatic shaking. Like, yes, there is beauty in that, but these are things that are fundamental to your nervous system, things that are the core. So I'm so excited. I feel like this episode is truly something that I deeply needed. And the question that I kept asking myself during this research was, why the fuck is this important? Why is nervous system regulation important? Why should I care? Why should you care? And I realized, and I'm going to read from my notes here, but shit happens. Shit happens. Things that trigger you happen. Things that raise your cortisol happen. Things that put you out of your parasympathetic nervous system. Like, they literally happen. And it's not about those things not happening or you not getting triggered. It's just when your relationship to your nervous system is healthy, what you realize is that when those triggers arise, they feel like a hiccup and not an explosive. They don't completely take you out. And I know I've had times in my life where I've been so disconnected from my body and disconnected from my nervous system that any little thing would just really stress me out and I would have a hard time bouncing back. And that's why this is important, because shit happens and we need to know that we are connected to our body and we are capable of handling whatever is thrown our way. And when we have a healthy relationship with our nervous system and our body, we're able to do this with more ease. So let's get into the truth about the nervous system. Of course, we're going to get into the free ways and the actionable tips, but I just felt like there were so many misconceptions with the nervous system where it almost feels demonized to be dysregulated, right? The birds are just going off. I hope you guys don't mind, but it's like sunset time. It took me so long to get to the point of recording this podcast. So I feel like every night at sunset, the birds go off. But I noticed that we've demonized a dysregulated nervous system, which is crazy to me because the truth is a healthy nervous system fluctuates, right? It actually has the capability to go from regulated to dysregulated. Cortisol isn't necessarily a bad thing. Being dysregulated for a moment, having an activated moment isn't a bad thing. And I feel like there's so much rhetoric that puts praises on being a regulated human with a regulated nervous system. Don't get me wrong. If you're in a constant state of dysregulation and you can't go back and forth in a fluctuating way, that creates chronic stress and that builds up in your body. And we do not want that. That is incredibly harmful for us. So I understand the push to have a regulated nervous system, but I think in that we lost nuance. Oh, I see the moon right now. She looks so cute. I wish you guys could see. She's 3/4 of the way full. We love that. But I feel like there's this energy that says, oh, well, this is good and this is bad. And it teaches us to avoid being in dysregulated emotions rather than learning how to work with them and move through them in a way that feels healthy for our system and healthy for our body and our minds. So we're going to get into a little science overview because I'm actually, what the fuck is going on within the nervous system? And people keep talking about a regulated nervous system, but what do they actually mean? I'm pulling out my notes so I don't mess anything up. You're welcome. But honestly, I've researched this for years, so it's something I'm really passionate about, but I feel like every time I dive in, I discover new information, which is really cool. So basically, there are two different nervous systems. There is the central nervous system, which is basically our brain and our spinal cord. And then you have the peripheral nervous system, which is kind of like branches. I imagine it's like branches coming out of the spine into the body. And it really is a source of your body's communication throughout your entire system. And this peripheral nervous system that has the branches, basically, this is where our regulation nervous system lies, and our autonomic nervous system, where basically we are in our sympathetic state, which some people would call fight or flight, which I'm not going to call it that because I think that relates to thinking that it's inherently bad. Actually, the sympathetic nervous system is what gives us energy and focus and is able to activate us in a way that other parts of our body cannot. And we actually really need this part of ourselves. And then what other people call rest and digest is also the parasympathetic nervous system. And that is our restorative self, when we are actually able to be in restoration and rest. And this is so incredibly important to realize, that a healthy nervous system isn't calm and peaceful and zen all the time. We've been taught to believe that's what we should be aiming for, and that's just not realistic at all. And I think we should actually learn how to work with our bodies instead of against it. And in fact, a regulated nervous system is meant to be able to move in between these states without staying stagnant or getting stuck. And I feel like this is where the spiritual community kind of gets confused, and the sympathetic nervous system is called fight or flight and kind of gets this like bad rep. But it's normal to have stress rise. It's normal to have triggers. It's normal to have moments of activation come up, and it is not inherently bad. What is harmful, as I mentioned before, is that chronic stress, which I believe actually comes from the suppression of feelings and the suppression of moving through uncomfortable experiences. So just note that because you are feeling it and you are expressing it and you have a moment, that is actually a healthy thing, because that means you're having it come up, you're processing it in real time, and you're having a momentary activation, and then you're coming back, which is what we actually want for you. So the indicators of a healthy nervous system are: number one, welcome to class, take out your notes. Number one, flexibility. Are you able to go back and forth in between different states without staying in a triggered place too long? Are you able to actually move through it? The sympathetic serves for energy and focus and activation, and the parasympathetic allows us to come back to grounding, to restoration, which we need to fill our cup. So number one is flexibility. Number two, the second sign of a healthy nervous system, is neutrality. And I haven't seen anybody talk about this, honestly, but honestly, it is so healthy to have a relationship with your nervous system where you don't fucking judge your state. You don't judge, oh, this is good that I'm feeling this way. Oh, this is bad that I'm feeling this way. Oh, I'm feeling happy and energized right now. That's really good. Oh, I'm feeling tired and lethargic right now. That's bad. Why are we judging our states when in fact it's our ability to be flexible and move through them that actually creates a healthy nervous system, rather than, oh, I'm energized, I'm tired, I'm joyful. It's important to obviously like see these emotions and like use them as data and evidence for your health and your body and what you need. But also at the same time, like, they're just states. Like my therapist used to say, like, it's like the weather. It flows in, it flows out, the clouds come in, the clouds go out. That's just how it is. So don't judge the state. The second sign is neutrality. Number three is recovery and repair. I feel like the sooner that you can repair and recover from a trigger, from being in that sympathetic state, that shows that you are having emotional regulation and a connection with your body and with your nervous system, because you're able to come back and you don't stay stuck in the trigger or in the stress, or you push it away and you numb towards it. Like, you actually face it and you deal with it. That recovery and that repair is a huge sign of a healthy nervous system. And number four, your emotional capacity to fucking handle the shit that's thrown at you. No more numbing, no more exploding, no more whatever it is, the way that you react. Like, you just are able to emotionally look at things and respond. And, you know, if you need a moment, you need a moment. That's normal to be activated. Maybe your lid flips. You just like feel like, I cannot deal with this right now. Like, That's also so normal. It's about the repair, the recovery, and then your emotional capacity to fucking handle. These are the 4 ways that I don't feel like people talk about to create a healthy relationship with your nervous system for $0 for free. And notice how I don't say a regulated nervous system, because I feel like it's about having a healthy relationship with the nervous system. That is the goal for me personally. And so you've heard of all the classics, right? Somatic shaking, breath work, morning sunlight, vagal nerve humming to soothe and activate your vagal toning, daily movement, or maybe dipping your face in an ice bath. These are all things that work, and they're all free, and we love those. But today I actually want to talk about things that other people are maybe not bringing to your attention. And those things work. I love them. We'll call them like 1A, but we're going to dive into the 4 biggest things that impact your nervous system that are literally free. Number 1, relationship safety. The biggest disruptor to our nervous system is when you are in conflict constantly with a partner, with a friend, with a coworker, with a family member. That is the biggest thing that truly disrupts our nervous system, and not feeling safe within those relationships to maybe have hard conversations or to have conflict can be incredibly disrupting for our nervous system. And I think this is one of the biggest things people look past. They feel so isolated in their experience with their nervous system, when in fact it's community. Being around other people who have healthy relationships to their nervous system allows you to actually step into that too. Like, it is crazy the way that our bodies respond to being around other people that make us feel safe, and we cannot overlook this. And I see so many people overlooking it and trying to be so individual with their experience, when really it's about friendship and it's about community. In this, I ask you, it's free to evaluate certain relationships, to have hard conversations, to move through big things, or maybe to not have people in your life who really disrupt your nervous system. And don't completely cut people off and be alone, because that's not the move either. You need to be around people for your body, for your nervous system, for your feelings of being safe. But also notice, like, are you in spaces that support you in that? And if not, can you put yourself in those spaces? Can you purposefully go out and search and be in those spaces that create emotional intimacy and safety? I feel like the retreat I was last at, I was like, wow, I feel so emotionally safe with these women. This is literally incredible. It changes the way that I feel within myself. Boom. That is the magic right there. And if you need to reevaluate people in your life, that is free, babe. Hard truth. Some people will not relate to this, but number 2 is blood sugar regulation. And this is so incredibly important for me, because this manages your cortisol, which I will say also with cortisol, people have demonized cortisol, but it is something that we actually sometimes freaking need to get our asses up. And as long as it's not like chronic or super high, like, cortisol in itself is not inherently bad. But with that, we need to have a regulated, managed cortisol relationship. And blood sugar literally impacts that. When I was really struggling with PMDD, I've talked about this in past episodes, but basically I realized that my blood sugar was impacting my hormones, and that was impacting my PMDD. And I was really struggling with those intrusive thoughts before your cycle. And in that, I really saw that my brain really needs blood sugar regulation to feel regulated within my emotions and my body, and I'm able to handle things better. And I was looking it up, and somebody literally said on the internet, not saying this is 100% true, but in my research, somebody literally said that the brain sees low blood sugar as a threat within the system. You're like, oh my God, am I about to be hungry and starving for days? Like, no, that isn't what is going to happen, but the body kind of starts to panic. And the ways that I regulate my blood sugar is eating like really high protein, and definitely trying to just like eat in general before having like caffeine, and just trying to eat first thing in the morning, I think is huge. I used to be like, I need to eat high protein and then stress out. And lately I've been just having avocado toast on sourdough with like balsamic and like Parmesan, and it's like not super high protein, but it honestly gets me eating in the morning. And sometimes like eating high protein and having that mindset would like make me feel blocked from actually doing the thing, like feeding myself. So I've been just allowing myself to really like have whatever feels like healthiest and easiest and like best for my body that day, because like especially as a woman in a 28-day cycle, like different days and different times of the month are going to require like different things within my body. So I just try to listen to that intuitively and eat very intuitively. But just like in general, for my ADHD mind, just like not forgetting to eat and making sure to eat every couple hours so my blood sugar doesn't drop, like, is really big for me. Number 3, the thing that you do not think about that is actually impacting your nervous system is your fascia. What the fuck is fascia? If you haven't heard of it, I'm about to blow your mind. Fascia release is going to be the next thing that we're going to do that is free. I'm going to tell you how to do it, but first, what is fascia? Fascia is a thin connective tissue. I had to pull the definition for us. Fascia is a thin connective tissue that wraps around the muscles, the organs, the nerves, and it's your emotional web that literally connects and communicates through your entire body. It literally holds memory and can store trauma, they've said. And it basically generates small electrical signals that informs the nervous system. So it is actually responding and connecting to the nervous system and vice versa. They're working together. And if your body and your fascia is feeling this like in between part of all your nerves and muscles and organs, your fascia, if it is feeling like there is a lot of emotion and stress stored in there, that's going to be communicating to your nervous system and maybe creating a chronic state of staying in a stress mode and not completely completing the stress response cycle. So in that, I have been taught to release fascia by one of my best friends, Sydney, at my retreat. She hosted a fascia workshop for somatic healing, and I cried my eyes out like a baby. The emotional release was actually insane. Like, the emotional release truly was insane. And what she had us do was take a tennis ball, which you probably have around your house, so that's free. Boom, that's another one. But I want you to find a tennis ball, and you're gonna lay down, and you're gonna just try to find a really sensitive spot. For me, like above the shoulders, or kind of like in like the chicken wing part, or maybe it's your mid back, and you find somewhere that holds a lot of tension, because a lot of the physical pain in our body is connected to our emotions and to our nervous system and to stress. So you locate where it is with the tennis ball, and you just breathe into it. You melt, and you're supposed to breathe in and sigh it out. And you're supposed to stay here for as long as it takes for it to release. It could take like 10 to 15 minutes. And you really want to melt and have patience and just be so gentle with your body during fascia release. You can't just like get in there, or else the fascia is gonna like respond in a way. You know, when you get a massage and like they can't go deep right away because you need to like move into it. Another way to release fascia, just like get it fluid and moving, is any spinal movement, cat and cows, or maybe rolling your feet on a spiky ball, or if you don't have a spiky ball, like a water bottle or something that you have in your home, or just doing like acupressure on your feet, just like, because your feet like is an entire map of your whole body. It's like all connected. It's actually crazy. So number 3 is releasing fascia and looking more into that, because it's actually so interesting. And finally, number 4 is about truly having a connection to self. And the actionable step that is literally free is micro self check-ins. These are conversations throughout the day. Oh my God, the sunset. Wait, so pretty. I wish you guys could fully see. These micro self check-ins are literally about having conversations, little check-ins and little moments throughout the day where you have conversations with yourself. And the questions you can ask yourself are: 1, what's alive in me right now? Just checking in and being fully honest, what is going on within your heart right now, because it can only begin to unweave if you have awareness for it. Number 2, do I have any unmet needs right now? Depending on how I'm feeling. If so, how can I meet that need? And question number 3, well, it's not really a question. This is more a confidence boost moment. Number 3 is reminding yourself, I am capable, I am safe, and just being like, I got this. Like, I'm proud of myself. Like, look at what you've done, girl. And by having these little confident boosts throughout the day, you're just connecting with yourself, checking in. It's like you have like the little sister version of you next to you, and you're like, hey girlie, just want to check in. How we feeling? How we doing? How can we hype ourselves up a little bit more right now? And for me, IFS, or internal family systems, that I've talked about in the past, inner parts conversations, have really helped me be like, okay, I have a part of myself that feels this way and a part of myself that feels this way. And how can I like move through it and work it out? And by having conversations with yourself and just checking in and moving through things and reasoning with yourself and reframing and just constantly being connected to truly how you feel, you will notice that your whole nervous system feels safe because you are rooted in that root chakra energy of I got myself. I have little me next to me and I got her and I love her. And we're going to do whatever it takes to just protect her. And that doesn't mean shield her from the world. That literally just means reminding her of her fucking power so that she can thrive. So those are the things. Number 1, relationship safety. Number 2, blood sugar regulation. Number 3, fascia release. And number 4, self-micro check-ins. You got this. All those things are free. And then I talked about the other little actionable things earlier, but these are the things that actually matter, are actually important. If you love this episode, make sure to share it with somebody, copy the link, share it on Instagram, show me where you're listening. It literally makes my entire day, entire life when you share with somebody or you share with me your thoughts, your downloads, and just make sure to like comment below where you're listening from and just any thoughts that come to you during this process. I want to hear all your downloads, all your thoughts, anything that you have to also bring to the table, a different perspective. Like, I want this to be an open conversation. And if you're new here and you are not following or subscribing to the YouTube or the podcast, give it a follow because come back. Like, I loved having you. Okay. I'm like, I never know how to do those things, but I love you. This is Kayla Rose. You are inherently worthy. Please don't forget it. And yeah, come back to this episode if you need. And know that you have everything within you to do everything that you would want to do in this life. And also, I forgot to tell you, if you want to join the 10-day challenge, this is like your last 8 hours to do it when this launches. Yeah, so go check that out. Okay, it's going to be linked below. It's like to connect to your artist self and become the most magnetic version of yourself that is fully seen. Okay, bye.